You in danger, girl.
Top 5 signs he's a walking red flag and you need to run. Dating horror story. I know y'all like a story time. So, I want to talk to you about the dating horror story that happened to me many, many moons ago. You know your girl is very happily married now. But this is when I was still a single woman and open to dating prospects. I had a coworker who said to me, I have the perfect guy for you. He's smart, he's handsome, he's accomplished, and he's my nephew. And I was like, I don't really know. I'm not really looking for anyone to hook me up. But I was open, right? I was young and I was free, and we decided it would be fun. And so she and I were chatting, and she told me all the great things about her nephew, and we set up a date and time for him to come around and for us to get acquainted. So I chose to meet him at a place that was safe. He came to my grandmama's house, because at grandmama's house, uncles are there, aunties are there. If the situation gets a little risky, cousins are out back. And so I felt safe and comfortable and protected in that environment, right? He showed up in a fast, loud, hot red car. Really nice, but really bachelor. Very much said, look at me. It was giving, I want all the attention. And that was the first sign that maybe this wasn't gonna be my cup of tea, but I was still open. He hopped out of the car, handsome guy, dressed really nicely, great smile, and then he turned to the side and there was a tattoo of a big, juicy pair of red lips. So this is before social media and before everyone was liberated and out of the closet. And so it was interesting to see this gentleman operating in the way that he was, living so freely, and it made me question him. Was he here for me? Was he here for attention? Or was he here for the fellas? Because those questions have to be asked. But anyway, I digress. We met, we hugged, we chatted. The conversation was okay, nothing really excited me, but there were a number of things that I picked up on in just our first conversation that let me know this was not the guy for me. And I used that particular experience to help guide me in my dating process until I found the one who was for me. So today, I'm gonna talk to you about when you are in danger, girl. Here are my top 5 signs that he's a walking red flag. Sign number 1, he is loud, he's obnoxious, and he wants all of the attention in the space. So in my particular case, that showed up quite a few times, right? The big, red, loud, fast car, and then the tattoo of those big red lips on his neck, no less. Those were indicators that told me this is probably not the type of man that I want to take it further with, because I recognize that he needs to be seen. And I value a quietly confident man. So you need to know what you value first, hint, 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 in order for you to know what's not going to work for you. When you're looking to partner with someone, we have to compromise. We have to make room for the other. And so you want to make sure that this is a gentleman who's willing to make room for you. If he wants all of the attention, if he's showing up to suck the life out of the space, there isn't going to be any room for you. The second sign that he's a walking red flag is if he makes any comments about your body. So we were a lot younger at this time, and there were comments made about my figure and my physique and my body. And I didn't think that it was anything wrong with that, but I do remember feeling uncomfortable about being objectified in that way, especially because I didn't know him and he didn't know me. And so we were just meeting, and this was one of the first things he talked about. When men make comments about your body, what that says is that I'm not really here to get to know you. I don't really want to connect with you. I have an agenda to get physical and to get physical fast. And if that's what you're looking for, then it's okay. You're a grown woman, do what you want. But if love, connection, relationship is what you're looking for, you want to ensure that this is a man who has a level of emotional intelligence, that he can have self-control during the time that you're getting to know him. When men comment on your physical form, it also shows that sex is one of his top priorities, and so this is the thing that he values. Instead of showing up to get to know you in an intellectual way, to get to know you on an emotional level or a mental level, he's hyper fixated on getting into bed with you, getting into your pants, and being physical with you. The third sign that he's a walking red flag is if he talks about his penis size. And this is particularly interesting that there are adult men who initiate conversations with how large their penis is. Because it's not what you have, it's how you use it. And there are so many men with big members that have no idea what to do. And they have a string of unsatisfied women that they leave behind. So any man who's saying, I'm 12 inches, 25 inches, 45 inches, and let's be honest, right? Sometimes you have to be protective of your cervix and your uterus. You may not need all that meat anyway. If this is what he talks about, this is what he values, and this is where he gains his self-worth. That means that he is a man who has internal insecurities and feelings of inadequacy when it comes to what else he has to offer. You want a whole package. You want someone who's showing up as a whole version of himself. What can he bring to the table as far as support, as far as education, as far as financial resources? How is he going to improve your life and not just satisfy you in the bedroom? Men who talk about penis size often feel insecure to other men in other ways, and so they have to use that in order to feel a sense of superiority around you. There has to be things that he can talk about besides his member. And if this is his go-to place of conversation, again, it shows that he is on an emotionally immature level. He's not going to be able to mentally stimulate you or emotionally satisfy you. So you need to definitely run. The fourth sign that he is a walking red flag is if he brags to you about his past sexual experiences. It's absolutely important for you and your partner to talk about past sexual experiences and what your likes and loves are. But if there's bragging happening, if he is puffing out his chest, telling you how much he's satisfied other women or what other women have said about him sexually, that indicates a few things. So first and foremost, you're not here with me right now. You're not being present. You're still living in the fantasy of those past experiences. You are still operating from a mentality where you're thinking about other women when you're with me, and no one wants that. It also tells you that, again, his self-value is heavily connected to impressing women in a sexual way. Sex is great in the confines of a healthy, safe, loving relationship, but in order to make a relationship work, it's going to take so much more. And then the final sign that he's a walking red flag, and I want you to pay close attention to this, ladies. If he loses his temper within the first 30 days of seeing you, you need to leave immediately. Because most of us are not showing up as our truest selves. I send my whole representative, you send your representative, and they're out here just representing us, at least until we feel more comfortable to show up naturally, or until we lose control and we cannot help but to show up as who we really are. That's what happens in these particular experiences. If he loses his temper and he lashes out at you, or he speaks rudely or becomes aggressive, that's an indication that this is not a romantic space that you want to explore, because you could literally be in danger. 30 days is a minimum amount of time for you to just get to know someone. And if I don't have enough self-control to be kind, to be respectful, and to be responsible for my own behavior in that small period, imagine what's going to happen if the relationship continues. My message to you is to leave quickly. I want you to be able to pull out the things that are not aligned with who you want to be as early as possible. No fixation on what you think it could be. No looking at the red flags and then pretending that they're yellow. No squinting your eyes and acting like you don't see it. I want you to be hyper vigilant and hyper focused so that you can spot the red flags and see when he is not the one for you as soon as possible, because it's going to save you so much time, so many headaches, and so much heartache. I would love to know what you think about these signs. If they're red flags for you, or if they're green, it's giving toxic, sis, and you're gonna keep going. No judgment, whether you agree or disagree. Let me know your thoughts and your comments down below. And as always, stay sacred, and I'll see you on the next episode.